Comedian is here with us. Comedian is one of the foremost CEDH players and foremost CEDH coaches and foremost CEDH content creators in the entire world. So I will be providing anime slander, as I either know all of these characters or furiously wikied them while working out this morning. And Ian knows enough about CEDH that we will connect the dots and it will be understandable and digestible. So the way this is going to work is I have made a short little thing with a visual of the character and then the most important information about them for you to understand them. We are going to assign them a commander, and then after assigning them a commander, I'm going to go over to this tier list. We're going to be assigning them a rank of consistently wins tournaments, contends in top 16, is pumped just to get a draw, has never won a CEDH tournament in their or a CEDH game in their life, or actively tanks the tournament. Like I'm thinking is so bad they knock out one of our tournament winners just because of how badly they fuck the game in pools. Without further ado, let's begin. First, we're going to do Lelouch. So the defining characteristics I could figure out about Lelouch from his wiki page is that he can do mind control and he seems British. And by that, I mean he has a massive ego. If there is one thing to internalize about his weaknesses, he is like a 15-year-old who thinks he is the coolest and smartest and hottest guy in the entire room. He is maniacal super genius though. I looked at a page that says like Lelouch feats and it said he beat like the reigning world chess champion on turn 1 of a chess game, which I don't think is possible, but it did happen.
Well, yeah, but if you cheat, it works really well.
Yeah, true. With that in mind, Ian, what type of CEDH commander do you think that person plays?
Okay, so, well, I mean, we'll start with the British aspect, right? Because what I will say is that the CEDH UK actually does have a pretty good, healthy metagame, and I do talk to a decent amount of folk from that scene pretty often. And so what I hear is a disproportionate amount of Rograk Thrasios players. But what I'm getting is, and it's, you know, obviously I know so much about this anime that you've mentioned, and I've totally seen every episode, and I definitely think we're pronouncing the characters' names right. But if I had to take all of my internal knowledge on this character and talk about Lelouch, yeah, I think some sort of Rog Thras, but like not a normal Rog Thras, right? Like this comes down to one of those people who like, you know, they're like, okay, yeah, I see how the deck works. I got that. But what if I just make it kind of like a cocaine fever dream? Listen, we'll do the stuff that you all do. We'll tap a guy's cradle. That part ain't going nowhere, right? But it's going to be much more of the what is the rest of the soup? That's the Lelouch specialty, I think.
Is there a way to put control elements into Rog Thras? Because chat was very up on the idea that Lelouch is a control player.
Oh yeah. So there is a like subsection of an archetype in Rog Thras where they just sort of pretend to be a different slop deck. And I feel like we have to define a slop deck to your audience. Maybe I don't know like how deep they're in the CEDH sauce.
Is a slop deck just you like play all the good cards?
Basically, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So slop at this point is a hyper control strategy, essentially based on going, hey, you know how good Rhystic Study is? What if I do that and then I copy that and then I copy a Smothering Tithe and then I copy a second Smothering Tithe. So by the end of the game, by the end of the game, they're like, I got 3 Rhystics, I got 2 Smothering Tides. For legit example, like some of these decks are getting to the point where some of them, their main win condition is playing Angel's Grace and then kicking a Molten Collapse, which is a split second board wipe, but you have to pay X into it. But they know they will have 40 mana. So they know that they can effectively Angel's Grace and then uncounterable board wipe the board and people's life totals. That's how slop deep they're in these decks, right?
All right, I think you grabbed him then. Hold on. So Rog Thras control slop.
Yeah. Well, what I will say is, by the way the audience is describing this character, I don't even think he needs to pretend to be a Rog Thras player. I think this is a Rogishai player. Rogishai is like the definitive slop deck of the format right now. Yeah. So like that is 100%. It sounds like this is a sloppy boy.
This guy wins, right? If Rogishai slop player who's super smart. He is a dickhead though. Would being a dickhead hold him back from winning?
I know a lot of dickheads who play Rogishai and do well with it.
Straight to wins tournaments.
Yeah, unfortunately they body because this is unfortunately one of those decks where if you are just kind of a terrorist at the table and you just like don't let people think independently and just decide to talk at them, you're gonna do really well with this deck.
That's Lelouch to a T too.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? We interrupt these messages for a breaking announcement on being comfortable with how you look. And and it's time for some of y'all to lean in, because if there is one thing I know about the Magic the Gathering community, it's that there is a wealth of brilliant visual imagination when it comes to picking card arts, picking sleeves, picking playmats that match a deck's vibe perfectly, and then you take that and you roll into the LGS like you got dressed by the concept of entropy. It is ridiculous, but I get it. For many, many years, the worst part of my day was figuring out what cup I was going to pour this sweet vanilla milkshake into, and that's why I love Into the AM. Now I wake up, I go to my dresser, I'm grabbing shirts randomly, alien invasion style, but I know that I'm going to like how I look. I know that I'm going to like how it feels on me. I know it's going to be breathable, and they're selling packs right now that'll set you up for the entire summer. So head to intotheam.com/malldown today to pick one up for yourself. Thank you very much to Into the AM for sponsoring this video. Next, we have Akagi, who was specifically requested by Tomu in our previous stream. So Ian, I'm guessing you haven't seen the exploits of Akagi.
Yeah, no, I don't.
All right, no. He is a 13-year-old prodigy mahjong player. His entire anime consists of 3 games of mahjong. I double-checked this. He plays 3 fucking games of this game throughout his entire anime. And he's basically, as best I can conceptualize, he is like Yugi Muto without actual powers. Like, the thing he is good at is not necessarily the strategy of mahjong. Not that I understand the strategy of mahjong past like it being adult Legos, but he's really, really good at like bluffing and getting into his opponent's head and then just like betting it big and it coming up Akagi.
Oh, that's so interesting, eh? Okay, very interesting. I mean, I think Chad is sort of jumping right on this one, which is all of them are like, yeah, he sounds like a Kark Sakashima guy, which I think is pretty fair. It is like the coin flip deck of the format. It's not really seeing a lot of play nowadays, but like I think that's also like something that gives me anime protagonist energy, right? Like I feel like most of them don't play what I would consider like the meta decks, right?
What would you say is the differentiation between Karkashima players and RAL players?
RAL players like winning more. That's really like Kark Sakashima is a form of life, and you know they will definitely like you can take their thumbs, but he'll never take their coins, you know.
Got it.
But Ral is just like, hey, listen, this is a twink got a line of cocaine and decided to jam, you know, like that's what Ral is.
Okay, then I think Akagi is Karkashima. Everything I understand. The thing is, he is smart, but he's also just like balling all the time.
Yeah,
and so I think that has to be Karkashima.
I think I think it fits into that space. Chat going, the twinks are unstoppable is crazy.
Because
I can't read chat. That's too
because
deep.
he plays Karkashima, does this mean he's locked to top 16, or do you think a baller enough Karkashima player could win tournaments?
No, Kark Sakashima specialists are top 16 like lovers. They will absolutely barely scrape it in every single time, and then you're like, all right, time to get in the real pods, and everyone's just like, hey, nice Kark you got there. Be a shame if I shot him in the face until he died. And they're like, oh no, my strategy, fuck.
Oh no, everything. Fuck, shit, goddamn. Good job, Akagi. Thank you for playing. Let's look at Naruto, who is Ninja Jesus. His weaknesses, every other aspect of his character. He is an idiot. He's not very good at ninjutsu. Like, it's too many. It's too many things to say.
I do love Boruto's dad for sure.
So what CEDH commander is just like blessed by divine right?
So this is really interesting, right? Because to me, this is like Naruto is one of those animes that I actually like watched growing up, right? Like that was the one where I'd be like, hey dad, it's Thursday night. I know you only had me for a couple days this week, but like I am gonna make you watch Naruto right now, right? Like it is one where I think it has to match the energy of it really feels like despite him being sort of unsufferable, the deck will just do a lot of the winning for him. Because that's kind of Naruto's vibe, it feels like sometimes.
Somebody in chat said Atali, which I kind of like. He's such an extreme politicker too, but he's like a friendly. He's like, guys, it's gonna be okay. We don't have to play all these goddamn counter spells. We can just let some stuff resolve. Yeah. And then he just slams Atali. Oh yeah. Wait, clones. That works for Atali, right? Those players are always trying to make multiple Atalis.
Shadow clones. Yeah, literally shadow clones, because they're not as good as the original body, but they still do plenty of work. Yeah, it is tough because I did sort of have Atali. Bit of a spoiler. I was also thinking Goku was an Atali guy. I'm not gonna lie, but I do think Naruto is the right amount of Unga Bunga brained, especially at the start. I think we're talking about like pre-Shippuden, right? Like that's I feel like the Naruto we're talking about. Like post-Shippuden, actually, he thinks about things. He's somewhat responsible. It's like, get out of here. Like that's not the Naruto we know. We're talking about 4 kids believe it Naruto. Sasuke is 100% the energy of the person who then plays the phantasmal image after your Atali has lost and fizzled.
Yes.
that's Sasuke. Is Naruto is like, I copied Atali 3 times and I passed the turn. And then he's like, phantasmal image, and he flips over an Adnaz, and you're like, get the fuck, come on, bro. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so friendliest Atali player you've ever known. How far do they make it?
Friendliest Atali player. Well, okay, so Atali is one of those weird decks, right? Atali's like the lottery, right? Where it sells you the dream of winning way more often than it means you're actually going to. Because 1 out of every lottery winner, one person who pulls that lottery ticket will succeed. And it inspires a generation of bad Atali players. And unfortunately for me, Atali very, very often, it's somewhere in between the has never won and pumped to draw category, unfortunately. Just because it is one of those decks where, as I said, there's that one person, there is the Naruto protag, you know what I mean? Like there is he is touched by God and he will flip the right cards, right?
Right.
Maybe after the Shippuden arc, but like, he'll get there. I feel like a lot of other people though, they show up and they're like, yeah, I jammed Atali 3 times, but at least I got a draw out of it. And you're like, yeah, buddy, all right.
I could also see Naruto going, a draw is basically like all of us winning.
Yes. Actual words I have heard and then proceeded to cry blood. Yeah, for sure.
Next, we have Light Yagami. He's best known for eating potato chips, murdering a lot of people, and talking at you super hard. Are you familiar with the musical stylings of this man, Ian?
Oh, yes, of course.
I feel like the most important governing quality of Light is he thinks he's much smarter than he is, as opposed to, we talked about Lelouch. Lelouch is like smartest person in the world and is insufferable. Light thinks he is the smartest person in the room, but all he does is get tricked. So who does that?
I think he's an Esper player for sure. I feel like Esper fits that shell pretty often because Esper has that way of like being very relevant to a game of CEDH, but its biggest struggle is winning, right? Like that is always like the meme of it. It's like, yes, I've countered all the right spells and I put myself in this position. And it's like, but then I'm back to just Thassa's Oracle Demonic Consultation. Everyone's like, we know how to stop that, bro. Like please tell me you got anything better. I think it is maybe like, I think a couple people in chat already jumped on this one, but Tivit does kind of give that vibe. And Tivit especially because as one of like the originators of popularizing Tivit, right? The concept at the time was Tivit was one of the best anti-creature decks, and 2 of the most dominant decks at the time were Flipkin and Winota, right? So it's literally meant to like beat up on the creature decks. But then what'll happen sometimes is you'll be in a pod with Tivit, and Tivit will be like, haha, creature decks, I'm gonna beat the piss out of you. And then another person playing a breach deck is like, thanks for wiping the board, idiot. Here's my underworld breach, right? Like, right. And so that really, it gives me a little bit of Tivit vibes, I think. Yeah.
This is because some people in chat were like, oh my God, he should have red because he's impulsive. Like, he, the person, should have red, but he would show up to a tournament with a Tivit control stacks deck thinking he was gonna solve the fucking format, and then he would get fucking doinked up.
I think he's another, I don't know, I could see him making it all the way to the finals. Like, I think he needs to succeed because his story is that of a heroic tragedy, right? Like it's a classic tragedy archetype, right? Where you see them get so close to success and then they're just such a twat about it that they kill themselves essentially. And like I think that really is it,
Is he I do think results wise, I agree with that. I do want to make an argument for this is a 14-hour finals guy where he spends 10 minutes on his turn coming up with the exact plan for how to win the rest of this game, and then the next person immediately does something different than he anticipated, and he crashes out for the next like 3 hours, and he goes in that actively ruins the tournament bracket.
Like, I think Light crashes out so hard that in the L Naruto Light finals, Naruto wins the game because he did nothing.
Atali's been removed 3 times and he eventually hits the last land. Believe it! All right, let's move on to his counterpart, L.
Yeah.
This is a pre-diabetic 20-year-old who is very, 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 very smart and very, very,
Yes.
very antisocial. So I think
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be real bold. This is Kinnan, no questions asked. This is the most Kinnan player I've ever fucking seen. He's the just like he's not playing the fun Kinnan either. It's the copyristic study Kinnan. He's not letting anybody actually control his spells. He does a very good job arguing as to why he should be allowed his second copyristic study. He does a very good job arguing why he's allowed to have 20 mana. And you're like, man, this guy's so charismatic for a weird little dude sitting on his chair, but he knows his shit. I guess I have to listen to him. Yeah, I guess he does need a 13th card in his hand. I'll feed his Ristic study. It's got to work out for me.
he keeps only speaking in monotones. Why is it working?
Yeah, I think exactly. People are like equating charismatic with like everybody wants a smush, and like that's not it. It's charisma in the sense of like when he talks in a room, everybody gonna shut the fuck up and be like, yeah, you're right. Like, you're like, that is an ad nos in the stack, L. You are correct. I should feed Ristic study 14 times. You're right. My bad, dog.
So right, the stack. God, I really do need that land. I probably shouldn't copy Chain of Vapor to remove that third Ristic study.
Yeah. All right, if you're just gonna basalt monolith and pastel, I have to believe you.
All right, so this guy, I feel like he has to be up with Lelouch, right? I feel like he's up with Lelouch unless he's in a pod with Light, and then he spends the entire round guessing at what win con Light is about to rip off the top of his deck.
Yeah, nah, he win too hard, I think.
We have Yugi, who is not very good at games. I think the only equivalent to this would be like if CEDH tournaments were no proxy and Yugi had inherited like a one-of-one card. Right. And nobody else had them.
No, for sure. Like he is definitely like back in the day when CEDH just like was a full baby tournament and format, and like we had no way of like having proxy tournaments. He was the guy who walked in and was like, yeah, my dad was playing when Alpha happened. Anyways, here's my power 9. I had the mana crypt lying around.
So importantly, that to me says there's two big characteristics. It is he has the most expensive deck, and he tries to make jank work. Because I remember like the run of the anime, he's never playing good decks. He's doing weird fucking shit and then ripping it, and then like he doesn't have Exodia for most of like season 1, but he like just rips the perfect stupid fucking card that makes it work. So is there a deck like that?
That's a really good question. It's a deck that essentially, so the concept is it's a deck that just does a bunch of stuff until it rips Exodia mode and deletes a table.
Yeah, he uses the worst Sisei combo lines you've ever seen.
You know what? You beat me to it by a second. I was about to say that sounds like a traditional tutor chain Sisei player, right? Where they are just absolutely just like, yeah, I actually, and I've never seen a deck have like the top deck and the top deck being a stupid ass card more than Sisei, right? Like right now we just got Loki's Scepter, the stupid threaten on a legendary artifact, and that's also taps for mana. And that's like a card that like objectively you look at it and like that's not a CEDH card, but when you have it and you top deck it and you're like, oh yeah, I'm actually gonna take your mana dork, and that actually adds another color to here, and now I can activate Sisei, and oh, is that enough to go grab my Bloom Tender? And when you can't activate Sisei, get Bloom Tender, I know someone's gonna type in chat.
Someone's gonna be
mad. You know, like whatever piece. Oh, does that actually? Oh, you have a Bloom Tender. Why don't I take that with my Loki Scepter? And or Deadpool is another great example of a card that's just like, oh, actually, your commander's got some nice text on it. What if I guess let me take that really quick. They'll just go swap those around.
Oh my god, I think the game's over. Wasn't that fun? And and Yagami Light is just in the corner shaking with rage again.
Yeah, his opponents are saying, if you don't let me win, I'll literally kill myself.
Okay, so how far does Sisei skedaddling get you in a tournament these days?
I mean, it has to fall under actively ruins the tournament, because as you have here in the slideshow, he literally cheats. If someone's walking around being like, you're about to play this card, I see. Like, yeah, they're getting DQ'd, bro. Like, what do you mean?
So the 14-hour hell bracket is Yugi trying to figure out his combo line and Light threatening to exercise his Second Amendment right.
Yugi, if you counter my spell, I'm writing your name in the book.
All right, next we have Ash Ketchum, who is a child. I actually have my own really strong suggestion for this deck. I think Ash Ketchum plays Sisei, but dog shit.
See, I was thinking Kinnan, but dog shit. No,
Kinnan's so much better.
Yeah, this is the, because there's a sub-permutation of Kinnan players that play the, like, 0 counterspell, only big flips Kinnan, and, like, that to me is very Ash Ketchum's vibe, right? Like, just being like, I'm just gonna make my Pikachu defeat a legendary Pokemon. It's fine. fine. You know, like we're just gonna make it work.
I think another important thing, even though this is 1-for-1, I think Ash is somebody who prides himself on only playing from collection, and he loses a ton of games because he's
Dude,
like,
that's so real.
oh man, I haven't gotten this foil tropical island yet. Guess I have to use a basic.
Yeah, and very much the like when you're first starting your first Kinnan, and you're like, oh yeah, all those bulk mana dorks that are like tap another creature and add 1 mana. That'll be my Mox Diamond for now, right? Like.
I do think Ash is a has never won. I think Ash ends every game with Hyper Beam about to go off, and then just fucking falls over.
I think there is no other way to interpret this. I think that is exactly correct.
Monkey D. Luffy. I will own up. I have not watched or read One Piece. I hate the art style. I've tried multiple times. I'm up to date on One Piece. I read the One Piece slander sub and the One Piece meme sub with religious regularity. So I know everything that has happened and everything that is happening in One Piece, despite the fact that I cannot bring myself to watch this fucking show. Do you know Luffy Ball, Ian?
I know enough Luffy Ball. So I watched the first 200-ish episodes maybe of the anime before I fell off because I was getting like, hey, I like this, but it's repetitive vibes. Even though there were many times in which I was very invested. I think people who are like, hey, read the manga, it's way better. I totally hear you. I don't read. I don't know how you do that. Sitting down and reading a manga, despite being quick, is still very time consuming. And so I have not been fully up to date. I'm aware of overall concepts because I'm aware I don't have the investment to go deep. I think the Netflix show is fun. Sue me, you know, like it is what it is. No, so I'm familiar enough with Luffy. Yeah.
I am most sympathetic to still being Gruul and doing the Raph and Mikey deck, since that is literally just what if I hit you over and over and over again.
Yeah. I think Raph and Mikey is actually not a bad pull because that is very much just the like, you guys gonna let me do the thing or what's up? But I feel like to me that's so disrespectful to Luffy and then like his potential as a character because like yes he is a giant fucking moron but he's so good at it. You know what I mean? Well, like the whole bit is the whole time he gets like kicked once in the dick and he falls in the water and for like 40 minutes you watch everyone be like fuck Luffy, you got kicked in the dick. What are we gonna do? Someone pull him out of the water. His dick got kicked. And then like they pull him out of the water and he's just like, oh, the end boss? Bush, clock him in the head until they die. Like
I feel like that's Raph and Mikey though. Like let me lay this out for you, right? They go to cast Raph and Mikey, it gets force of will. That is the dick kick where you got hard countered by seawater. And then they're like, oh no, Luffy. And the other three just play CEDH with themselves for like 4 turns. And eventually he hits enough land drops to cast Raph another time. And then he punches everybody to death.
But okay, so I hear you. This is also why I go to the Winota metaphor, right? Because I think it's actually pretty interesting. Because yes, sometimes they play an early stacks piece and it does disrupt, right? But people consider Winota an aggro deck more than a stacks deck, right? It's not a deck where people expect them to just play a lot of stacks pieces to lock people out early. Good Winota pilots do, don't get me wrong.
I kind of like that for the crew metaphor too, where Luffy is Winota just going face over and over, and the actual useful people is everybody else.
I think that's the vibe. Yeah, I think that is 100%.
I forgot to put Luffy on here, so where do you think Luffy goes?
I think Luffy, I don't know. I think he wins, man. I really do.
He wins?
I do. It's so upsetting that he wins. I think that's like kind of the whole, like that is One Piece, right? Like he should, nothing about anything Luffy does ever insinuates like the random side characters almost kill him more than the main bad guys, right? Like like he's almost accidentally died like 35,000 times. They even did it like super overtly in the Netflix one where he's about to be straight up executed and like something incidentally happens in the background and then lightning strikes and then he gets out of it, right? Like that's his whole thing. I don't think it's supposed to feel good that he wins all the time, but I think he wins all the time.
All right, you fucking convinced me. Mango in post put Luffy in the top tier. All right, next we have Edward Elric. He's got a metal arm and a non-corporeal brother. I feel like he is not all the way to diet.
Family reunion.
He's hot-headed like Lelouch, but he's not that smart. He's more of a like think on the fly guy because he's good at alchemy, but I did not watch all of original Full Metal Alchemist. I watched all of Brotherhood. I'm kind of leaning Lubs for him because he does spend a lot of fights kind of just like flying by the seat of his pants and figuring like I'm so much better at so many different types of alchemy. I'm gonna figure out how to put together the right thing.
So my exposure to Full Metal has been, I remember like I watched a lot of like the beginning saga, which is like you don't actually see him fight that much in the early parts of the show, which is really funny. Like it builds up, and I got through a lot of like the plot stuff, and ironically before I get to see him like manifest in combat, I didn't really get to see a lot of that. So I might not have the most astute analysis here.
Yeah, and I'm pulling from like a decade past, but chat, this is the one time I will actually take constructive criticism on the take. My visceral memory, and this is not true for every character, but a lot of the like lesser characters and like middling bad guys, it's very everybody has their signature thing to do, and Ed has some signature stuff, but he does a lot more of like, I'm gonna identify the weakness of your signature thing and then put together a somewhat new thing and then kick the shit out of you.
He might be a deck switcher, right? Like there's like, I think that's just maybe a good idea, right? Like he might be a meta hound, right? Like just someone who is just like trying to find out what that next big ish is and being like, I've noticed that everyone's playing these slop decks, so to counteract it, I'm gonna play some turbo, right? Like you know, like that type of vibe. I can get behind it. I mean, that's literally based on my career, right? But yeah.
All right, so he's a dirty counter picker, and then Flubs is his personal favorite, but he will swap off it in a second if he thinks it's not the strongest thing for the tournament. So how good does Edward do? Does he make it to winning, or is he just the top 16?
This is me. Yeah. So I think he's a top 16 contender, right? Because I think as someone who's got a lot of experience with it, when you jump around a lot, you are going to be able to succeed, but you're not always going to be able to lock it in, right?
Got it.
Like, I don't think it's one of those things where you're always able to be like, and I have the perfect counter strategy. Like, it's going to be one of those things where you get close enough and you succeed, but it doesn't mean you lock in the right card 100% of the time. That one change that you made because you swapped decks means that your cards 95 through 100 are still bad enough that they will cost you a game. You know what I mean?
Next, we're moving to Gon from Hunter x Hunter. So importantly, Gon is a prodigy. He goes through, I think we're not going to consider, like, we're not going to weigh the whole, like, he makes a, like, Nen. He does not really give a fuck about winning. He, like, very rarely he does. So I did misspeak. I think I misspoke when I said Ash was the most chill guy. Gon is the most chill guy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. That's the thing is, like, I think there really has to be a level of like, is Gon without Killua, like, what is that dynamic, right? Like, because that is, he's not allowed to have Killua in every single pod. Like at locals, don't get me wrong, the two of them together, they make some collusion happen, right? But like, this thing is though, like, he is very good. I mean, he is classic anime protagonist, right? He's very good at winning, even when he is just like kind of being a dingus about it. I will say he does always, like, you know, having watched the full, like, you know, what is considered like the normal part of the anime that's been out, right? Like, he loses a lot before he wins, and so he is successful, but he definitely takes his lumps along the way, you know. And I do think that is important. I definitely feel like he's in the camp of like Atali vibes for sure. I don't necessarily know that we have to lock him and Naruto into the same one brain cell, but like he's definitely trying to like run at the wall enough times so that the wall cracks, you know.
Yeah, he is a little tricky though, right? Because he does have, I'm thinking about when he's fighting with Knuckle in the anime, and he does the like Jojankin fake out. Like he does do, he wants to look like he's totally smooth brained. I think he just prefers to be smooth brained, and if he needs to trick you, he can. Like he's willing to. It's just not his favorite thing to do.
I think chat has it 100% here. A Peach Tea Dragon called it out. I think this is a Vivi player for sure. Because Vivi is one of those decks where you can sometimes just be like, all right, guys, it's turn 2. Do you have the answer for curiosity? And everyone's just like, damn, bro, you had it on turn 2. And he's just like, you know, like, oopsies. Vivi is just like, hey guys, I'm gonna press the Vivi button. I'm gonna make a shit ton of mana. Like, I know I look like a 5-year-old, but turns out kind of goated status. Like, let's just start blasting people, you know.
Gon can get pretty hardcore though. He doesn't think like a normal person. That sounds like Vivi player to me.
Yeah, true.
All right, how far does he make it?
You know what? He's definitely pumped to draw. I think that is one of those
Happy
things
to
where
be
like
there.
yeah, that's the thing is like I think Gon is one of those players where like yes, he absolutely is a great player and will win games given the opportunity. But when offered the proposition by, you know, for example, like the light Yagamis of the world who just need one more draw to make top cut, and he's like, we could all walk away happy, and Gon's like, yeah, that sounds great. Like
All right, next we have Chrollo Lucilfer. This is another character from Hunter x Hunter, but he is much, much smarter than Gon. So his main thing is theft, which I feel like all right, the important parts of his character, his power system is theft based. His personality is very like collective based. He's part of a group called the Phantom Troop, and he's very, very big on like the organization must survive. It's okay if any individuals die. It's even okay if I die, but the organization must go on. So that's why I wrote the like scoops his friends into top 16 from chat.
oh, I do know this guy. I was convinced that I had no idea who the fuck this guy was. I just don't remember him without the stupid thing on his head.
Oh, definitely not Rogsai. Rogsai is like way too individualistic and way too aggressive. The fights he has are all about like setting up very specific win conditions. And he's willing to strike like a viper when he gets there, but he's almost never like, oh, I'm just gonna rush you from second one.
I think he's a blue farm player so clearly.
He's
right. Like this is iconic blue farm, which is like because he is set up to be like that guy, right? Like that because I remember specifically like all the lead up to him is very much like, and you know, Hisoka is like salivating at the chance to like actually beat him in combat, right? And like that to me is like this is the guy who shows up, he makes top cut of most tournaments that he goes to, he plays what is considered objectively one of the best decks, if not the best deck during multiple iterations of history, right? Like just shows up, puts up a number, cashes a paycheck, and then everybody's like, yo, he's kind of it, like he's kind of that guy. Right?
His hair is so soft.
Yeah, but maybe, you know, he doesn't have a lot of social media presence, so it's not like everybody knows his face directly, but maybe he shows up, he top fours every couple tournaments, and then he walks away at the end of the day, and he's just like another name on the leaderboards, you know? Like they don't know him by face, but they know when they get their ass beat by him.
All right, so he has to be up and winning, right? Like he just
I think he's a top 16er. I think like he's set up to be like a badass, right? I think he's supposed to like top cut most events he goes to, but I don't think he takes the dub. You know, like he's literally set up in the anime to be a guy who is you're gonna feel so satisfied when you beat his ass, but you are gonna beat his ass eventually, right? Like he's gonna take out the non-protagonist energy people for sure, you know?
I think that even makes meta sense now that you're saying it, with Luffy being a winner, where people like if these people were real and on the like EDH leaderboards, people would be talking, they would talk so much more highly of Chrollo, and then would be like, Luffy does have a 60% win rate though. Tell me about Goku.
Well, now it's tough because we used Atali. I was thinking Goku was an Atali guy, so we have to talk about this more. I will also say it would get late at night, it wouldn't be Cartoon Network anymore, and the weird alien guy would be like, thanks for watching the show, it's an anime now, we're jumping into it. He doesn't have as much of a Brooklyn accent, I don't know why. So that was like my exposure to the show, was like I watched Dragon Ball Z one of every 50 episodes in which I would just happen to be awake long enough to catch whatever Toonami episode was on, and then that's about it. I've never sat down and watched it. There's only so much of men grunting that I can watch.
Speak for yourself. All right, speak for yourself, brother.
So yeah, that's my what would you say what incorporates Goku for you?
So I think the two really important qualities that Chad has talked about, he lets other people cook, and that should be his downfall. And then he is a whole dumbass, but he's not like Luffy, where like Luffy just sends it and is made of rubber. Goku is a savant at fighting, right? He has incredible battle IQ. He's incredibly good at learning fighting styles, at learning how to train. This is why Vegeta is like mauling about him all the time. So he does actually have to be like frighteningly competent at one element of the game, but then because he doesn't counterspell people or like lets people like he'll feed a Ristic study without even, he's like, yeah, I want to see what you got. And then he gets fucked by that.
I think literally the perfect deck for this. Okay, I think Goku is a Timna Halana player. Okay?
What the fuck?
So Timna Halana is like the Protean Hulk deck of the format, right? It is the deck that is trying to like get to a mid-range place and then get a Protean Hulk into play through probably cheating it in some way. You sacrifice it, the Protean Hulk pile kills people immediately, right? And it is one of those decks where you don't play blue, so you don't really stop people a lot. Like they play a Collector Oof usually, but apart from that, It's like a little bit of removal and a collector roof. And that's like the only things you're ever doing to stop people from doing their thing. Until you're like, all right, guys, it's been fun. It is turn 4. Natural order my green dork into a Protean Hulk. Sacrifice Atlas on board. You guys are dead. And you're like, huh? What do you mean? And I think that's big Goku energy, because you're like, yeah, I'll feed heuristic studies. I don't care. Like, yeah, I'm gonna attack with Timna, get some cards in. He's just, it's actually kind of goated. It doesn't look like it stops anybody ever, but he just is the guy who does it, you know?
How complicated are the lines for Timna Halana?
I mean, at the end of the day, you put a Protean Hulk into play and you sacrifice it, and then the pile wins, right? Like, that's at the end of the day, like, that's like the intricacies of it to do it like perfectly well, sure, right? But like that kind of goes back to what you're saying, like he can be a savant in combat in the sense of like, yeah, hey, let's just here's the Hulk, right? You guys got it or you don't? And they're like, fuck, wait, what? Like,
so how high does Goku make?
I think here's the problem. I know Goku's like that guy, right? But I just feel like he lets people cook too much. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
does that put him into actively ruining the tournament though? Like, is he the guy who's just nonstop like feeding the Mystic Remoras, feeding the Ristic studies? Like, somebody will factor fiction and then he'll be like, oh yeah, pile of 4, you can have it. Let's see what you got, brother.
I think that is exactly it. Where yes, there is the there are some people with already in typing in caps in chat. So I think you've nailed it there. I think it is 100% being like, yeah. Oh, I think we should just let them resolve the adnos. I don't think we should crack my Ranger Captain here. You're like, Goku, it feels like really like we should not let them have this, man.
Yeah, he gave Cell to Senzu. He ruined the Cell tournament. They had that like motherfucker.
He's the dude. Yeah, he's the dude who absolutely lets someone resolve an adnos when he has a silence in hand. It'd be like, I don't know, I'm gonna see what he does with it.
All right, so the first chat submission we're doing is Eren shit-ass Yeager.
Oh, I knew it. I was it was one of those things where someone had mentioned it in chat like right in minute 2, and I didn't want to like disrupt the flow to mention it, but Eren makes a lot of sense for sure.
All right, so let's talk about Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. If you haven't seen Attack on Titan, do watch it. It's very, very good. I hate this character. I feel like it's part of the point of Attack on Titan is for you to hate Eren at some point. I feel like this is 100% a guy who plays a deck too complicated, and he just fucking blows himself out by not being able to handle all the things his deck can do.
What CEDH archetype is I get so mad that I genocide, you know? Like who's got that sort of anger threshold?
But I feel like he's the worst Sisei player. Like, that's what I feel like it is, where he's just like he taps Sisei not knowing what he's gonna get, and then he spends half an hour looking through his deck and going like, shit, fuck, god damn it, fuck, what do I get? And then he board wipes.
You know what's nice though is like, I feel like as we've gone through this tier list a lot, I haven't felt really good about putting a lot of these characters as like, and they eat shit and lose. And Eren is 100% a protagonist that is meant to eat shit and die. Like, he's going to throw a piss fit about it because he's Eren Yeager, and he's gonna get so mad that he explodes. And I think he's 1,000%, like 1,000,000%, 10,000% in the actively ruins the tournament category. He is the person who has to be escorted out of the building because he will not stop yelling. He throws a piss fit to monumental degrees, right? Like, he will be escorted out of the building so fucking fast. I'm kind of getting Timna Dargo vibes, right? Like, you have Timna that like, gives you enough consistency to like get your like, you know, your plan going, and then you have the big explodey Dargo lines that like they do fuck people, and like I think he could win enough games, but he's not gonna make top cut because he threw a big piss fit.
Like, and there's like just enough tech and sequencing involved in Timna Dargo stuff that he would be like, I'm gonna really cook here, and then he blatantly fucks his own combo line, blames the guy in seat 3. We have Aichi Sendou to the wiki. Let's learn about Aichi Sendou. Aichi Sendou, card fight, exclamation point, exclamation point. Main protagonist. He becomes corrupted at one point. As a result of playing a host to the Void Seed, he becomes the antagonist. He's shy and timid. Let's go to personality. What the fuck is a Sisqualia? A Cyqualia?
I can imagine the people who've actually seen these anime are like actually exploding with rage at the way we're pronouncing this shit.
He lacks confidence. He's always kind and nice to everybody. That's terrible for CEDH. His story is one of gaining confidence. He's very intelligent. His deck keeps evolving. I'm not sure how this translates in Cardfight Vanguard. He's dense in social situations.
Sick.
He is at one point influenced by the Link Joker. Fucking tremendous.
Is that when the Joker transports to the Zelda universe?
I believe so. Okay, his spiritual strength is on par with Takuto. I do not know what that means.
So already we know what bracket they're fitting in as far as the tier list is concerned, because apparently he is a cheater because he has future sight. So actively ruins tournaments is already a pretty good lock-in for that.
wait, okay, I'm actually getting something that will translate. He has the ability to erase or manipulate any memory of his existence. So that's actually like master politicker.
Yeah, so not only like this is okay, so for translating this to IRL terms, not only can they cheat, but it sounds like they maybe are like one of the players who owns the software that everyone plays on, so they can just like delete themselves out of the system if they need to. Maybe he always gets first in seed order just by happenstance, of course, right? I think this guy is going full into the ruins of the tournament category for sure. Just fully investigated afterwards. Like this guy's walking away in cuffs.
But I feel like he could be the guy who's just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna play Ristic Study Pass, and somehow it's never called out. Where's Aichi? All right, cheater hacker.
So big cheater hacker. I feel like if you're gonna walk in with that kind of vibe, you probably are just a Rogsai player in general, right? Because you have to be the kind of person who's like, listen, I'm winning turn 1 or turn 2, which I also think is very funny because I have seen timid Rogsai players, and it's a very funny experience because they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna put like an Adnos in the stack, and you're like, what? What do you mean? It's turn 1. What are you talking about?
Not that big a deal.
I got a packed backup.
That's perfect. All right, so he is the Rogsai player, but he does the like uwu fingers anytime he's trying to resolve anything. Then we have Ace Ukiyo. Let's learn about Ace Ukiyo. I
do really love the 180p picture you got for this guy.
I have all the pixels he deserved. Why is there God on his wiki page? What the fuck? Race human formerly, God currently. Okay, he is a famous celebrity.
As gods tend to be.
Yep. Okay. He participates in Grand Prix. So I guess he's a car driver. Motif, Fox Revolver motorcycle. Oh, also a cat boy. Amazing. Confident and mysterious man who keeps his true self unclear. He aims to exploit their world-changing abilities for an unknown goal. He's looking for his mommy. He wishes to be famous so that his mother will notice him. Ian, do you have a real-life person that you can describe that to?
I hope not. And if I do, and if you know me and you're a CEDH grinder and you're out here just hoping that your mom notices you, hey, I don't need to know. That's okay. I don't need that backstory in particular. When does the God thing happen? Also,
he's apparently I think he has a Naruto situation. I think he's a reborn God
as a race car driver.
As one does
with mommy issues.
Okay. He's willing to lie to elicit sympathy from others.
Okay. It seems like the God thing happens at the end of the series. Okay. Got it.
He ascends to godhood or is revealed to be a god at the end.
I'm not gonna lie. You said Catboy, and my immediate thought is this is the guy who shows up to locals playing Ishtola. Depending on canonically, is this somebody who would use godhood in races to give them an advantage? Because then they obviously once again actively go in the cheating piece of shit category.
I feel like this guy has to be a top 16 because it feels like he knows how to politic. He's willing to lie. I think he gets in one pod with somebody who's like had a deal broken before, and then they tank the pod to make sure he loses, and that's why he doesn't get to the final round.
I have good allegories for these because this happens actually. It's actually something that happens. So because like obviously like you're allowed to technically lie in CEDH tournament. It's not something that is like physically against the rules, right? However, socially it's kind of a big no-no, right? So what'll happen is someone will lie. They'll probably do so to make top cut, right? And then the people they lied to in the pod will very often go find the people in their top 16 pods and be like, hey, that guy's a lying piece of shit. Just so you know, don't listen to a word he says. And it's just something that happens happens all the time. So it's just one of those things where it's like the natural consequences for lying in CEDH are just everybody knows you do it.
He wins like 3 tournaments, and then
Yeah.
everyone's like, man, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Hikaru Gero is just like, when you describe what an anime character looks like, I feel like it's that.
Oh, he injects himself with poison, which gives him enhanced reflexes and strength. So he's like Bane. He's
Sick.
CEDH player most likely to take meth, I think, is Hikaru Gero.
This is such a Rogsai pilot. It's not even fucking funny, dude. Like the like poisoning yourself so that you can succeed, trained killer energy. Like that is so fucking Rogsai. It's crazy. Because you're just, the idea that is that you are literally hurting yourself so that you can go above and beyond. That's ad nos, that's necropotence, right? Like you are literally going like, I'm about to ride the lightning, baby. Let's go. And he is obligated to find a wife according to chat. I mean, I guess Rogsai players can hypothetically be marryable at some point. Like, I don't know that I've seen it, but I think it's potentially capable of happening.
I feel like for Rogsai players, their 2 highest aspirations are win turn 1 and find somebody who can love me. So that, I think that works, actually.
Actually, I think we fucking nailed it. It feels like it could be top 16 contender or has never won, because the vibe I'm getting from chat, from people who know what's up, it seems to be like a wants to find wife, fails so bad. So I think there's this idea of like frustration of like being a, you know, I'm a trained killer, I'm playing Rogsai, it's the fastest fucking deck in the world. Like, you know, like just then immediately eating shit and also being unlovable is like pretty good.
You know what I'm feeling, and we don't have enough tiers to do this out, but I'm feeling Unstoppable at local has never won in a tournament.
I think Unstoppable at locals just deserves to be a tier, because I think this concept has come up at least once or twice already. Yeah, Big Fish Little Unstoppable at locals is such a good way of describing it, because I cannot tell you, like every game store has a local game store final boss, and it has nothing to do with them being actually a great like Magic player.
All right, next, this fucking hat guy. Weaknesses.
Excuse me, princess.
How he fucking look, how he fucking speak. Defining characteristics. Hat. All right, Lupin III. Part of a criminal gang. Oh, he's considered the world's greatest thief.
Anytime someone is described as a gentleman thief, you know they're a douchebag. Like, you know they're just the biggest piece of shit. Shown to be remorseless and psychotic. And latter case, a sociopath with a twisted sense of humor. He has murdered people, decapitated a guard dog, and nailed another dog to a ceiling.
What the fuck? This guy sucks. Gotta be
once again another real fun vibe you guys are throwing in here.
He's gotta be a Tibet player. Because here's what I'm thinking. All right, here's what I think, Tibet. I think it's because he sends the calling card, right? Which to me is like, you sit down with Tibet, everyone's like, yeah, time sieve, and then he's gonna time sieve you anyway, and he's spending the entire game talking shit and removing what you do until he eventually just hits you with the thing he said he was gonna hit you with.
Yeah, I think I might have to one up you on this one, just because I think like Tibet's too small for this. It feels like I feel like we have to go. Like, this is the person who brings a 2-color commander that's a stacks commander that no one's ever fucking heard of. Or if they have heard of it, it was like in 2002 when it was printed, somebody was like, yeah, that could be a stacks commander, but nobody would dare sit and play this because it's such an agonizing process. Like, that is the kind of thing that I get out of this character. And like, yeah, maybe the gentleman thief means that like this is a little bit too overt, but the level of sadism described, and like, you know, there's definitely some people. Oh, actually, you know, I will say, some people did bring up Obnix. Obnix List does sort of do that sometimes, where they're just like, all right, yeah, here's the thing that says you take a damage anytime you take a game action, and then I draw a card. So like, I think this is kind of it's either like a Gaddock Teague vibe or a Yasharn vibe, or something like Obnix List, which is just like Pain Stacks does have that sort of place in this type of thing for sure. I like everyone's chat keeps being like, Buddy's funny. I'm a little concerned about some of you all. Yeah, I listen, I get that he's nailed a dog to the ceiling. He's funny about it, which I guess is good for you, Maud, like, because your subs are apparently going to stick through you for a lot. I still think it has to fit into the actively ruins the
Oh
tournament.
yeah.
Because like someone is leaving the pod crying. You know what I mean? Like he definitely ruined someone's fucking day. You know?
I feel like he would have a nickname and he would be known for like, oh, he doesn't win all the time, but like if any of the tournament winners get into a pod with him, they drop after playing because they're just so done with the weekend.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they're like,
yeah.
play my
Yeah.
fucking Lupin game, and then
someone in chat said he's walking away with your deck. That is exactly the vibe I get. Yeah, that's a good call. Good call.
we will probably do this again. This was a lot of fun, and
Hell yeah.
the numbers on it were pretty decent. Thank you all for coming. Be kind. Do not rewind any videotapes you possess, and please remember to stay toxic.